Hey everybody, welcome back to Better Know a Highway, a series where we look at the interstates of America, one road at a time. In this episode, we're heading to the western US for a major 5-series highway that extends through wide open spaces while connecting numerous important cities along the way. Interstate 25. And real quick before we get started, just wanted to remind you to please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Always appreciate that. Make sure to check out the VRT Discord, link in the description below, and if you want to support this channel, you can join as a member for just $2.99 a month by clicking the join button below, and I definitely appreciate that. And with all that out of the way, let's get started. Interstate 25 is a north-south oriented highway in the Intermountain West of the United States. As a 5-series highway, it runs for a considerable distance of 1,061 total miles, while running through 3 states. Starting at the southern end, I-25 begins in the state of New Mexico, where it makes a winding path through the heart of it for 462 miles. The southern terminus of I-25 is at a Y-shaped junction with the major east-west running highway I-10, just south of the city of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and about 40 miles north of the city of El Paso. Heading north as I-10 makes a turn to the west, 25 passes by the eastern side of Las Cruces, having several exits with routes that head directly into the city. After a relatively short distance, 25 leaves the Las Cruces area and enters the dry desert climate of south-central New Mexico. As it makes a slow turn to the east, while keeping a general northern path, 25 begins to parallel the Rio Grande River, and soon after passes several smaller places, such as Radium Springs and Hatch, while then crossing the nearby river just to the south of Caballo Reservoir. Soon after, the highway arrives at the interestingly named city of Truth or Consequences, passing it just to its west. Moving on, 25 continues to parallel the Rio Grande, this time running just to its west. The highway then reaches more places, such as San Antonio, and soon after, the city of Socorro, where the highway swings slightly to the east and closer to the river to pass just by it, and then having a major junction with the local main highway. As 25 heads further north, the valley widens, and more arable land can be seen. Also, population slowly begins to increase overall, as the highway finally reaches its first major metro area when it enters the city of Albuquerque. Just before getting to the area, I-25 makes a second crossing of the Rio Grande and enters the city while running on its eastern side. Urban density comes on quickly, and 25 skirts just past the downtown core. Soon after, it has its next major junction, this time with the transcontinental running I-40. After the junction, 25 turns to the northeast and heads for the northern suburbs of the area, still hugging close to the river and passing smaller cities such as Bernalillo and Algodones. Also in this area, the highway turns even more to the east and begins a long curve in that direction. Keeping on this path, 25 finally moves away from the river and out of its valley and heads into a new region, this one being the capital city of Santa Fe and its surroundings. Approaching from the southwest, 25 stays well south of the city and its capital area, and is directly connected to it by a concurrency of US Route 84 and US Route 285, which both continue north once past the city itself. Now on the western side of Santa Fe, I-25 makes a sharp turn to the southeast and skirts the nearby Santa Fe Mountains, eventually making another turn back to the northeast and heading directly into them, while also passing through the similarly named National Forest. Elevation increases as the highway climbs upward, eventually reaching a crest at Glorieta Pass at an elevation of 7,452 feet, after which 25 descends slightly, heading deeper into the mountain range, and begins a long curve back to the north, while traveling past stunning terrain of crests and ridges. Eventually reaching the eastern edge of the mountain range, 25 reaches the city of Las Vegas, the much lesser known version, and passes directly next to it while returning to its overall northern orientation. The next stretch of I-25 takes it back through open arid desert, with higher peaks in the distance. Passing smaller places, such as Springer and Maxwell, New Mexico, the highway enters the northernmost part of the state, and once again slowly gains elevation as it approaches the city of Raton, and wraps around its eastern edge while also having a junction with a major US Route 87. Quickly after passing the city, 25 reaches another crest, this one being Raton Pass, at an elevation of 7,798 feet, and passes right through it. It's also here where 25 finally leaves New Mexico and enters its next state of Colorado. I-25 nearly cuts the Centennial State in half as it passes from its southern border to the northern one, for 298 miles. Entering the state at an already higher elevation, 25 soon descends down somewhat to the westernmost portion of the High Plains, and begins its long journey of paralleling the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains, something the highway will do throughout its time within the state. Now turning to a northwest direction, 25 passes places such as Trinidad and Walsenburg, before eventually reaching its first larger settlement, the city of Pueblo. First passing by several smaller suburban towns and cities, 25 then makes a crossing of the Arkansas River, followed closely by a passing of downtown Pueblo itself, all while running alongside the smaller Fountain Creek. Now running through the northern suburbs of the area, and past the local mall, 25 has a short concurrency with the long-running US Route 50, along with two junctions. Then as it goes further north, the highway quickly leaves populated lands and back into vast open terrain. Still paralleling the creek just to its west, 25 runs a relatively straight course in the general northern direction, eventually reaching the city of Fountain, namesake of the nearby creek, and not long after, the highway enters an even larger populated area when it reaches the city of Colorado Springs. As it enters the region, 25 first passes directly next to Army Base Fort Carson. Then after that, while still closely following the Fountain Creek, 25 enters the downtown core and proceeds to make a long curve around the city's western side. The highway also junctions with US Route 24, along with a short concurrency, as well as Colorado State Route 115, which serves as the main thoroughfare for downtown. Continuing north and heading away from Colorado Springs, 25 runs through large suburban areas and cities, places such as Glen Eagle and Monument. Then, shortly after, the highway has another, somewhat briefer stint back in vast open terrain, still running alongside the Front Range just to the west, as it does so. Next up, I-25 arrives at its largest settlement along the entire route when it reaches Colorado's capital city of Denver and its massive metro area. Initially reaching the vast suburbs of Denver, 25 passes places such as Centennial and Glendale. The highway also junctions with the local route E-470, a tolled highway which acts as a partial beltway around the city, as well as an expressway directly to the city's massive airport to the northeast. 25 also has a junction with the spur route I-225 shortly after, which leads drivers towards the suburban city of Aurora a short distance away. Curving west, and then to the north again, 25 meets and then runs alongside the South Platte River, as both head towards downtown. The highway runs just to the west of it, skirting past and having a major junction with Business Route 70, which heads directly to downtown. Just past the junction, I-25 crosses the South Platte River while passing directly next to Mile High Stadium. Then, keeping to its north, it's not long after until 25 has a major junction with the long-running I-70, which provides drivers a path deep into the Rockies, just to the west. Only a couple miles later, 25 has another significant junction, this time with the western version of I-76, very close to that route's western terminus. Now well north of Denver, 25 continues through populated lands, passing several more suburban-sized cities, and having a second junction with the tolled E-470 route, providing another quick path to the nearby airport. I-25 stays on its nearly due north heading. While doing so, it passes next to, or near, several mid-sized cities, as well as many other smaller settlements, places such as Boulder, Longmont, and Loveland, providing a crucial link for all of them. The final major settlement I-25 will pass within the state is the city of Fort Collins, where the highway stays a short distance off to the east from it and is connected via routes such as US 34. It's not too long after this that 25 heads back into rural lands and quickly reaches the northern border to leave Colorado and cross into its last state. I-25 takes a staggered path through Wyoming, from the southeast corner to the center of the state for 300 miles. Just a few miles after crossing the border, 25 reaches its third capital city, this one being Cheyenne, Wyoming. Approaching it from the southwest, 25 first has a junction with another major transcontinental running highway, this one being I-80. Then shortly after, the highway pulls closer to the city, just a mile from the state capitol building itself, as well as near the city's local airport. As it heads away from Cheyenne, 25 passes a few smaller suburban settlements just to the north, before entering the vast open lands of the Wyoming interior, some of the most desolate lands in the entire country. Mile after mile of nothing resembling human civilization follow, as 25 meanders further north. Eventually, a few small settlements dot the landscape, and the highway has a junction with US Route 26, which heads east. Soon after, while passing smaller places such as Glendo and Douglas, 25 makes a gradual turn to the west and begins to head in that direction. After several more miles, 25 reaches its next larger settlement when it arrives at the city of Casper. Cutting in from the east, the highway passes through the northern side of the city while having several junctions, including ones with US Route 87 and US Route 20. Not long after, 25 crosses the North Platte River and immediately makes a turn back to the north, eventually leaving Casper behind and entering right back into the vast empty lands. Curving slightly both west and east, 25 keeps on that generally northern path and soon enters its final stretch. This section of highway, as well as many others within the state, are subject to intense winds, especially in the winter, creating a real hazard. After many more miles, the highway reaches a few tiny settlements such as Casey, and after a short distance, I-25 enters its final populated area when it reaches the mid-sized city of Buffalo, Wyoming. Staying to the east of the city proper, and having a junction with US Route 16, which heads directly towards the small downtown area, 25 has a quick crossing of Clear Creek before finally reaching its northern terminus just after, when it junctions with the longest interstate of them all, I-90. It's then 90 that keeps on a northern path and soon leaves Wyoming itself, a little further north. However, this junction puts an end to I-25's epic 1,061-mile trek. And that will wrap up this episode of Better Know a Highway. Hope you enjoyed and hope you learned a little something along the way, as always. And hey, before you go, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, check out the VRT Discord, link will be down in the description below. And finally, as always, I want to send a big thank you to all my members to this channel. You guys really help support my work and you keep these videos coming. So a big thanks to all of you. And if you want to join these cool people and get on this list, then you can join as a member for just $2.99 a month by clicking on the join button below, and I definitely appreciate that. Now, with all that out of the way, make sure you enjoy the ride, and up next, we head back to the southeast for Interstate 24, and I'll see you then.